Hey, what's up, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about the Claressa Shields and Keith Thurman situation. Listen, first of all, I want to start off by saying I think it's a bad idea for them to even think about fighting. I think that Keith Thurman is in the worst situation either way. If he fights against her and he loses, they're going to clown him. He'll be the laughing stock of boxing. If he fight her and destroy her, which I think he would, then you beat up a female. So Keith Thurman, I'm glad that he don't entertain this because he's in a no-win situation. But let's go over this real quick on the two resumes. Claressa Shields is 14-0, 2 knockouts. Her last 10 fights has all been unanimous decision, no knockouts. The two fighters that she's faced with the best resume is Savannah Marshall, who was 12-0. She beat her 97-93 on the scorecards, 97-93 and 96-94. Okay, and then you got Christina Hammer, she beat 98-92 and 98-91, 98-91. Okay, that's her resume. The reason why I know for a fact that she's just trying to stay relevant and she's just talking is because you are really not dominating female boxers. So what makes you think you can jump in here with one of the best welterweights, in which Keith Thurman is? Let's talk about Keith Thurman for a minute. First of all, people talk about Keith Thurman like he's a bum, like he's just a piece of trash. Keith Thurman is who Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford is right now. He used to be that. They was chasing him. Let's get that understood. He had a shoulder injury, and that took away a lot of his power. Because the Keith Thurman that I used to watch used to destroy, and he used to have power in both hands. Let's talk about Keith Thurman's resume. First of all, Keith Thurman, his only loss, which he's 30-1, 22 knockouts. His only loss came against Manny Pacquiao, who's a Hall of Famer. And he lost that fight 115-112, 115-112, which went for Pacquiao. And the other judge, which went for Keith Thurman, was 114-113. So that fight could have went either way. I'm just saying. And he lost one round in which he had 2 points. It was 10-8 because he got knocked down. I think it was like the first or the second round. So just think about if he don't get knocked down in that round. This fight right here could have easily been a draw. Okay, so let's talk about those. That's his one loss. Now let's talk about the fighters that he's beaten. He fought last year. This is the fighter that he beat, Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was 27-1 when he fought against Keith Thurman last year. Guess who his only loss came to? Gervonta Tank Davis, in which he is one of the best fighters in the world right now. Undefeated, and he is a monster in his weight class at 135. So his only loss was to Gervonta Tank Davis. These are the fighters that Keith Thurman has defeated. He beat Danny Garcia, in which Danny Garcia was undefeated at 33-0 when he fought against Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia was undefeated, 33-0. He beat Danny Garcia by split decision. Sean Porter, when he fought against Keith Thurman, he was 26-1-1. Robert Guerrero, when he fought against Keith Thurman, he was 32-1. 32-1-1. So these are the fighters that this man has defeated. So we acting like Keith Thurman is just a pushover, like he's a bum, like he's a piece of trash. Like this man right here is a hell of a boxer. Right now people is clowning him, talking about him because, it seemed like he's, begging for a fight, in which a lot of these fighters used to beg him for a fight and he wouldn't fight them. So I understand the frustration that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford have with Keith Thurman, but for Claressa Shields to think that she can defeat this man, and if you think that Claressa Shields can beat Keith Thurman, listen, you need to be drug tested. Matter of fact, and I don't mean you need to pee in a cup. I mean you need to be really drug tested, meaning you need to get some blood because they need to see what type of drugs you're on. Because I can already tell you all, Keith Thurman will destroy Claressa Shields. If he's serious, in which he said he just want to do a charity boxing match against her and that's it. But if they were serious, dude, it ain't no way that she would outbox this man. If you think that, you're smoking. But I think that Claressa Shields is just trying to get a reaction out of Keith Thurman. She wants to get a reaction out of Keith Thurman. She wants Keith Thurman to say something back. She wants all the media personnel to do what they're doing right now. Take this and take it to the next level. Oh, Claressa Shields says she can beat Keith Thurman. No, she can't. No, she can't. She can't beat Keith Thurman. And I think she just know that she's irrelevant right now, because everybody look at her as the best female boxer, but nobody really care about that, really, to be honest with you. Like, she hadn't really beat nobody. So I think that's why she's saying this, so she can get a reaction out of him and become relevant again. And just like she said she can beat Jake Paul, she probably can beat Jake Paul. But I just want to know why you continue to just say you can beat all these male boxers because you're out sparring people. It won't happen. But what do you all think? Do you all think she can really beat these boxers? Or do you all think, like me, that she's just trying to stay relevant in the boxing world and she just want to just throw names out there of people that she feel that she can beat? Like I said, she's the greatest woman boxer of all time, but we look at her as just being the second greatest, because a lot of us, like me, I look at Layla Ali as being the greatest woman boxer of all time. That's just me, because that's my generation. So what do you all think? Give me your feedback and tell me what you all think. Hey, thank you all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with Ray Diggs. Peace.